Something is deeply wrong inside the Chinese military. For months, rumors have swirled about unease and uncertainty at the highest levels of China's armed forces. Whispers of internal investigations, sudden disappearances, and a growing sense of paranoia have gripped the People's Liberation Army. The atmosphere is tense, with officers and soldiers alike wondering who might be next. In a move that stunned the world and sent shockwaves through global capitals, Xi Jinping has purged his top military leaders. Men, once trusted with China's most powerful weapons and strategic secrets, these were not just any officials, they were the very architects of China's military modernization, handpicked by Xi himself in previous years. Their sudden fall from grace has left analysts and foreign governments scrambling to understand what triggered such a dramatic shakeup. Generals have vanished, stripped of their titles and erased from public view. Their names have been scrubbed from official websites, their images blurred or blacked out in state media. It's as if they never existed. The silence from Beijing is deafening, fueling speculation and anxiety both inside and outside China. This isn't a routine reshuffle, it's a purge, swift, brutal, and calculated. Security officers have been seen escorting high-ranking officials out of government buildings under the cover of darkness. Black vehicles speed away into the night, carrying away men who just days before were at the pinnacle of power. The message is clear. No one is untouchable. The most shocking development of all, Defense Minister Li Shangfu and the top commanders of the rocket force, the elite unit responsible for China's nuclear arsenal, are gone. Their abrupt removal has left a dangerous vacuum at the heart of China's military command. The rocket force, once seen as the pride of China's strategic deterrence, is now leaderless and under intense scrutiny. These were the men Xi would need for any move against Taiwan. Their expertise, experience, and knowledge of military strategy were considered vital for any potential conflict in the region. Now, with their sudden disappearance, questions swirl about the readiness and stability of China's armed forces. Their removal signals a crisis within the PLA that Xi believes only raw political power can fix. By sidelining seasoned commanders, Xi is sending a chilling warning to anyone who might question his authority or hesitate to carry out his orders. The chain of command has been upended, and uncertainty reigns among the ranks. Was it corruption, disloyalty, or resistance to Xi's Taiwan ambitions? Some sources suggest a sweeping anti-corruption campaign, while others whisper about secret plots and internal resistance to Xi's aggressive plans for Taiwan. Surveillance has intensified, and the fear of being accused of disloyalty hangs over every officer. The true reasons remain shrouded in secrecy, but the consequences are all too real. The answer is unclear, but the message is unmistakable. Loyalty to Xi trumps all. In today's China, personal allegiance to the leader outweighs experience, competence, or even past service to the nation. The military is being reshaped in Xi's image, with loyalty tests and public pledges of fealty becoming the new norm. Experience and competence now take a back seat to obedience. Seasoned generals are being replaced by younger, less experienced officers, whose main qualification is their unwavering loyalty to Xi. The result is a military leadership that may lack the depth and expertise needed in a crisis, but is absolutely loyal to the man at the top. Xi is willing to destabilize his own military to cement his control. He is betting that absolute loyalty will outweigh the risks of inexperience and instability. This is a high-stakes gamble, one that could have far-reaching consequences for China and the world. As China's military postures aggressively around Taiwan, Xi surrounds himself with loyalists, creating an echo chamber where dissent is silenced. The risk of groupthink grows, as alternative viewpoints and warnings are suppressed. The military's actions around Taiwan are now driven by Xi's personal ambitions, rather than collective strategic wisdom. The risk, a leader unchecked making decisions that could plunge the region into war. With power concentrated in one man's hands and dissenting voices silenced, the world watches anxiously. The fate of millions may now hinge on the decisions of a single, unchallenged leader. As the specter of conflict looms ever closer over the Taiwan Strait, the sudden and unexplained disappearance of China's top military generals has sent shockwaves through the international community, igniting a firestorm of speculation and concern. Around the world, analysts and governments are scrambling to interpret what these high-level purges mean for China's future, and for global security as a whole. Is the People's Liberation Army, or PLA, quietly fracturing under the surface, plagued by internal dissent and instability? Or is President Xi Jinping methodically clearing the decks, removing any obstacles in his path as he prepares for a possible confrontation, perhaps even war? If we take the official explanation at face value, that these generals were removed due to corruption, then, the implications are significant. It would suggest that China's once-feared missile forces may be less capable and less reliable than previously believed. This could mean that any plans for a rapid strike against Taiwan, or other regional ambitions, might be delayed or even derailed by internal weakness and disorganization. But there's a more ominous interpretation. Some experts warn that Xi's campaign isn't truly about rooting out corruption. It's about eliminating dissent and caution within the ranks. By purging those who might question his decisions, Xi is removing the very voices that could urge restraint or warn against reckless military adventures. The generals, who have vanished, may have been the last line of defense against a hasty or ill-conceived invasion of Taiwan. Their warnings, now silenced, could have been critical in preventing a catastrophic conflict. By promoting only the most loyal and unquestioning officers, Xi is reshaping the military into a force that will follow his orders without hesitation, regardless of the risks or consequences. This new generation of leaders may lack the experience or the courage to challenge Xi's decisions, even if they sense disaster looming. Ironically, this purge could make war more likely, not less. With a military leadership that prizes loyalty over prudence, the threshold for launching a dangerous operation, such as an invasion of Taiwan, may be lower than ever before. With no one left to challenge his authority or offer alternative perspectives, Xi Jinping risks making decisions in an echo chamber. One where Xi's catastrophic miscalculation becomes all too possible. The world now faces a critical question. Is China's military truly weakened by these purges, or has it become even more dangerous? An unpredictable force, tightly controlled by a single man with unchecked power. The answer to this question could determine not only the fate of Taiwan, but the stability and peace of the entire region for years to come. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher. Experts are split on what Xi's purges mean. Some see chaos and instability, arguing that a military obsessed with loyalty is unfit for war. They believe the West can breathe easier, at least for now. Others warn that Xi is removing voices of caution, making conflict more likely. The new generals, chosen for loyalty, may overestimate China's strength and underestimate the risks. This could lead Xi to believe an invasion would be quick and easy. A military led by yes-men is unpredictable and dangerous. The West must stay vigilant, as history shows that unchecked leaders are the most likely to start wars. The stakes have never been higher. History offers chilling warnings. Stalin's purge of the Red Army left the Soviets vulnerable to Nazi invasion. Pol Pot's loyalist purges led Cambodia into disastrous wars and collapse. Saddam Hussein's obsession with loyalty over competence ended in defeat and humiliation. In each case, dictators replaced experienced commanders with sycophants, crippling their militaries. The result: catastrophic wars, national disasters, and global instability. Xi's actions echo these patterns. By prioritizing loyalty, he risks repeating history's worst mistakes. Purges often precede reckless conflict. The world should take heed. It's tempting to see China's military purges as a sign of weakness, but that would be a grave mistake. Xi's ambitions for Taiwan remain undiminished, and China's military buildup continues at breakneck speed. Warships, missiles, and advanced tech roll off assembly lines, unaffected by leadership changes. Purges may be Xi's final preparation for war, ensuring absolute obedience when the order comes. The West cannot afford complacency. Xi's consolidation of power makes his actions more unpredictable, and the risk of miscalculation higher. The situation is not safer, it's more volatile. The West must increase vigilance, strengthen defenses, and prepare for a China that is more reckless, not weaker. The stakes are global. The time for wishful thinking is over. While the world debates, China's military pressure on Taiwan intensifies. Daily PLA jets and warships probe Taiwan's defenses, testing and exhausting its military. These are not random acts. They're rehearsals for blockade and invasion. The goal: wear down Taiwan's resolve and normalize the threat of force. Naval drills simulate cutting Taiwan off from the world, sending a clear message to Taipei and Washington. This relentless campaign is psychological warfare, aiming to break Taiwan's will. The purges have not slowed this aggression. If anything, the PLA is more determined. For Taiwan's 23 million people, the threat is real and immediate. The world must not ignore it. Unwittingly, the West is fueling China's military rise. Western technology, investment, and research often end up in the hands of the PLA through military-civil fusion. Microchips, AI, and advanced materials designed for civilian use are repurposed for missiles and fighter jets. Academic and business partnerships blur the line between peaceful exchange and military advancement. Even Western pension funds may be investing in China's defense industry. This dangerous contradiction strengthens the very threat the West seeks to contain. Cutting these ties is difficult, but essential as tensions rise. The question: How long can the West afford to be an unwitting accomplice? At the core of the purges is Xi Jinping's drive for absolute control. The PLA's loyalty must be to Xi, not just the party or the nation. Political obedience now outweighs military skill or experience. The message, your future depends on unwavering loyalty to Xi. Dissent, hesitation, or even independent thought is a liability. Xi is willing to accept a less competent army if it means total control. This brittle command structure is prone to mistakes and misjudgments. For Xi, the risk of divided loyalty outweighs the dangers of incompetence. The result, a military that may follow orders blindly, no matter the cost. The world stands at a crossroads, facing choices that will shape the future for generations to come. The atmosphere is tense, uncertainty hangs in the air, and the decisions made in the coming months and years will echo across continents. We are witnessing a pivotal moment in history, one that demands our attention and resolve. In China, Xi Jinping is consolidating power at an unprecedented pace. He is systematically removing dissenting voices, tightening his grip on the Communist Party, and ensuring that the military is loyal to him above all else. Under his leadership, the Chinese military is being modernized and prepared for potential confrontation, with a clear focus on regional dominance and the projection of power. History warns us, unchecked leaders and silenced generals often lead nations into disaster. We have seen this pattern before, when power is concentrated in the hands of one individual, and when those who might offer alternative perspectives are removed, the risk of catastrophic miscalculation grows. The echoes of past authoritarian regimes remind us of the dangers that come when dissent is crushed and the military is used as a tool for personal ambition. Today, the threat of a war over Taiwan looms larger than ever. Such a conflict would be catastrophic, not just for the people of Taiwan, but for the entire world. The economic, political, and military consequences would be profound, disrupting global supply chains, destabilizing markets, and threatening the fragile peace that has been maintained for decades. The global consequences would be severe, affecting every nation. A conflict in the Taiwan Strait would send shockwaves through the international economy, causing stock markets to plummet, trade routes to be disrupted, and millions of lives to be upended. No country would be immune from the fallout. The West must not be lulled into complacency by China's internal turmoil. While it may appear that Beijing is preoccupied with its own challenges, history shows that internal strife can sometimes lead to external aggression as a means of uniting the nation or distracting from domestic problems. Instead, the international community must strengthen alliances, support Taiwan's democracy, and take concrete steps to reduce dependence on Beijing for critical goods and technologies. This means building resilient supply chains, investing in alternative markets, and standing together in the face of intimidation. The warning signs are clear. The risks are rising. Military exercises are increasing in frequency and intensity. Rhetoric is becoming more aggressive, and the world is watching as tensions escalate. We cannot afford to ignore these signals or hope that the situation will resolve itself. The free world must stand united and vigilant. Only through collective action, shared resolve, and unwavering commitment to democratic values can we hope to deter aggression and preserve peace. Only by preparing now, through military readiness, diplomatic engagement, and economic resilience, can we hope to deter aggression before it begins. Preparation is not a call to war, but a commitment to peace through strength and unity. The cost of inaction could be the loss of peace and stability for a generation. The images of destroyed cities, displaced families, and shattered communities serve as a stark reminder of what is at stake if we fail to act. The time to act is now. The world must choose vigilance over complacency, unity over division, and action over regret. Our future depends on the choices we make today.